Have you ever thought what I've been through?
I think I've had an awareness of the pain I caused you.
That's not what I said.
Okay.
What if I told you that without a massive hangover and a one-way bus ticket in 1983, the two greatest thrash metal bands in history might have never existed? Today, we are walking right into a minefield. We are talking about the most famous, most argued about and most bitter rivalry in the entire history of heavy metal. Metallica versus Megadeth. We all know the origin story. It's practically metal mythology at this point. In 1983, a young angry Dave Mustaine was kicked out of Metallica for partying a little too hard, which in the 80s is really saying something. They put him on a bus with a one-way ticket back home.
I mean, when I would hear Metallica on the radio, I would be like, God, I have to turn this off because I just keep thinking, I fucked up.
And on that very bus ride, Dave swore absolute revenge. He decided to build a band that would be faster, heavier, and more dangerous than Metallica could ever dream of being. Megadeth was born. Usually, when people compare these two bands, they just look at album sales. And if we do that, Metallica wins easily. They are a global stadium-filling corporation. But we aren't here to look at bank accounts today. We are going to put their actual musical DNA under a microscope. We are going to analyze their riffs, their drumming, their lyrics, their live shows, and their fan bases to figure out who actually holds the true crown of thrash metal. Fair warning, no matter what I say today, half of you are going to want to fight me in the comments, and honestly, I encourage it. Let's dive in. In heavy metal, the guitar is the king. If your riffs are weak, then your band is weak. Both of these bands have created some of the most iconic guitar lines in history, but they approach the instrument in completely different ways. Let's start with the rhythm guitar. James Hetfield is a human metronome. He's famous for his downpicking technique, meaning he strikes the guitar string downward on every single note, which gives the riffs a thick, heavy, incredibly aggressive punch. Riffs like Master of Puppets or Creeping Death are physically exhausting to play, but they have a massive swinging groove that makes you instantly want to headbang. Dave Mustaine, on the other hand, is a mad scientist. He doesn't care about simple grooves, he cares about complexity. Mustaine uses bizarre jazz-influenced finger stretches, often called spider chords, that jump all over the guitar neck. A song like Holy Wars or Tornado of Souls is like a mathematical equation played at 200 miles per hour. Then we have the lead guitar solos. Kirk Hammett from Metallica is a blues-based player. He writes solos that you can actually hum along to. He uses a lot of wah-wah pedal, maybe a little too much sometimes, to make his guitar sound like it's crying or screaming.
You know, sometimes I'll feel like stepping on a wall in the most inappropriate time. You know, I'm guilty of that. But sometimes I step on the wall when it's just perfect.
But Megadeth has a revolving door of absolute alien guitar gods. Players like Marty Friedman and Chris Poland brought new classical shredding and exotic scales to the band. So my choice, my winner for the guitars is Megadeth. Not just because of brilliant technicality, but also due to the fact that they use a huge variety of scales too. But we absolutely cannot forget about the incredibly memorable riffs and solos of Metallica. Alright, it is time to talk about the drums, and I can already hear the keyboards typing furiously. Let's talk about Lars Ulrich. Lars gets more hate on the internet than almost any other musician. People love to point out that he speeds up during live shows, he misses beats, and yes, the snare drum on the Saint Anger album sounded like someone hitting a metal trash can with a baseball bat. But here's the truth that a lot of metal elitists refuse to admit. Lars Ulrich is a genius arranger. He might not be the most technical drummer, but he knows exactly how to build a song. He knows when a song needs to breathe, when it needs to build tension, and when it needs to be exploded. Megadeth took the opposite route. Over the years, they hired drummers like Samuelson and Nick Menza, who brought a deep jazz fusion background to the band. They played odd time signatures, complex fills, and blast beats that Lars wouldn't even attempt. So if you want a masterclass in drumming technique, you listen to Megadeth. If you want a perfectly structured song that flows like a movie, you thank Lars Ulrich. If you are enjoying this debate, please do me a massive favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and most importantly, I want you to go down into the comments right now and tell me who is winning this fight so far. Keep it passionate and keep it fun, and let's argue about some metal. Alright, gloves back on, let's talk about the singers and the lyrics. The voices of these two bands couldn't possibly be more different. James Hetfield is the ultimate metal frontman. His voice evolved from a high-pitched, angry teenager scream in the early 80s into a massive, roaring, gravelly baritone. He sounds like a lion. Lyrically, James looks inward. He writes deeply emotional songs about his own struggles with addiction, the fear of losing control, depression like Fade to Black, and creepy cosmic horror stories about H.P. Lovecraft monsters like the Call of Cthulhu. James writes lyrics that make you feel something in your chest. Dave Mustaine, however, does not roar. Dave snarls. His voice is a high-pitched, venomous, sarcastic sneer. It isn't a pretty voice, but it is 100% unique. You hear 1 second of it and instantly you recognize it is Megadeth. Lyrically, Dave looks outward. Megadeth's lyrics are like reading a paranoid, top-secret government file. He sings about nuclear war, political corruption, and global conspiracies. As a result, James Hetfield is objectively the stronger, more flexible singer with lyrics that connect on a deeper human level. But Dave's snarl perfectly matches the chaotic, jagged nature of Megadeth's music. Finally, let's talk about the live experience and the people standing in the crowd. When you go to a Metallica concert, you are getting a $1 billion scene. There are lasers, fireworks, giant screens, and James Hetfield acting like the ultimate ringmaster, screaming, "Are you alive out there?" They want to entertain you. The Metallica fandom reflects this. They are the global metal family. You will see 16-year-old original fans standing next to a 14-year-old who discovered the band through Stranger Things perhaps. They just want to drink a beer and sing the chorus of Enter Sandman as loud as humanly possible. When you go to a Megadeth concert, it feels like you are attending a clinical masterclass in guitar surgery. There isn't as much talking. Dave Mustaine just walks up to the microphone, glares at the audience, and proceeds to play some of the hardest guitar riffs ever written without missing a single note. The Megadeth fandom is the elitist tech heads. They are the fans who will loudly correct you if you get a guitar note wrong. They pride themselves on listening to the band that didn't sell out to mainstream radio in the 90s. So, who actually wins the ultimate metal war? Here's the controversial truth. They both desperately needed each other. If Dave Mustaine had never been kicked out of Metallica, we would never have gotten Megadeth's masterpieces like Rust in Peace or Tornado of Souls, for example. And if Dave had never pushed Metallica to play faster in their early garage days, if Dave never wrote those early Metallica riffs and solos, Metallica might never have become the kings of thrash. If you want a band that writes emotional, stadium-shaking anthems that unite the entire world, Metallica is your undisputed champion. But if you want a band that feels dangerous, plays with jaw-dropping technical skill and refuses to soften their edge for the mainstream radio, Megadeth wears the crown. But that is just my opinion. I am tossing the microphone over to you. Who do you think is better and why? Let the war begin in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. And until then, keep it heavy, keep it loud, and I'll see you in the pits.